Hey guys, it's Markcoos here, and today, as you can see, playing some MyClub. It's been quite a while since I last uploaded a video. I had some internet complications as well as some game capture issues, but we seem to be all back to normal here. This basically video, the footage for like the next like 5 episodes are actually quite old. It's quite old footage because of the fact that I had the footage, but then I had computer issues and then I couldn't capture anymore. So yeah, so anyway, going to the first part of this episode, it is going in and getting the UEFA Team Player of the Year, which we got for having a day 1 edition of the game. And fortunately for me, I wanted to get the likes of Sergio Ramos, someone who is good in defence. I end up getting Donnie Willow, as you can probably can already tell from basically this part, but already from the beginning bit as well. So an 86 rated attacking midfielder, pretty decent, of course a Real Madrid player, quite good, goes straight into the squad. So that was pretty decent, but going ahead also signing some other top agents, have like 42,000 GP to spend. So I ended up going out and trying to get better defenders, because defenders is the way forward in this game, rather than trying to have like an amazing front line. I can score basically goals with anyone, but I always have trouble, of course, defending against like really good players. So with that being said, I try and get a black ball in this part. I do not get a black ball, I'm just saying that now because the game completely trolls me. I end up getting a gold ball, unfortunately. The gold ball, I am getting a pretty decent player. He's not too highly rated, but he's rated relatively decent enough, and that would be 77 rated Botia from Olympiacos. So, or Bosha, however you want to pronounce it, I'm going to call him Botia, because why the hell not? So him getting a little bit of a decent player there. Again, my midfield is more or less relatively sorted out. I need maybe a little bit more in terms of a defensive midfielder to accompany Toni Kroos. But everyone else, it seems it's relatively decent. D'Alessandro's amazing. Left and right midfield don't really care about at all. Up front, Hernandez is fantastic, and of course Gianluigi Buffon in goal, can't really go wrong. So into the third buy of this episode, and I think this is actually the last buy of this episode, we end up getting another gold ball, again going for another defender. We end up getting the left back, who is Le Goff from FC Lorient, and really, to be honest, I just do not care about him because I already have an 82 rated left back. So going into the first match of this episode, of course we're still in Division 12 at this point. I do have enough points, of course, to go to Division 11, but I decided just to mess about in Division 12 for a bit, maybe get some games under my belt before going into Division 11. So by the end of this episode, I do progress to Division 11. I just want to test out some stuff before going into that. But looking at the guy's team, didn't really have too many stand-up players. He was playing Alberto Moreno at right back, he had Guillermo Ochoa in goal, and he had Xherdan Shaqiri was his best player going forward, as well as Bedelge and Miguel Rodriguez, I'd assume, in attacking midfield. So he was playing with Napoli as his base team. Again, everyone seems to play during the day with fantastic weather because they just don't bother to change anything in the stadium settings, and it is so goddamn frustrating. But basically from kickoff, he just tries to run through with Miguel, it's Rosa, then not Rodriguez, and basically just gives the ball away very cheaply. And in the first like 10 minutes of the match, give the ball to D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro waits for Montero to make a run. Montero makes a run, waits for Hernandez. Hernandez again makes the run himself, passes it into D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro takes one touch. He blocks it, pretty decent block as well, but I mean basically just sort of dominating the guy from the start. Gets it to D'Alessandro again in the 17th minute, gives it to Montero. Montero gives it into Hernandez. Hernandez doesn't even take an opportunity, doesn't even take a first touch, just pings it with his first touch, and it goes past Guillermo Ochoa into the bottom corner to give us a 1-0 lead. And in the 40th minute of the match, Hernandez again for on goal, gets a strike away. This time unfortunately he hits it just wide of the post. And at half time it was 1-0 to us, so pretty decent result so far at the Estadio de Scorpia. But I mean, I wasn't really expecting much because I didn't really care, to be honest. It was just sort of playing some games, trying to get some other games under my belt rather than just playing one game, get to Division 11, play 2 or 3 games, get to Division 10 and stuff like that. So I just want to basically play a little bit more games, to be honest. But in the 51st minute of the match there, a relatively poor tackle, I think it was by Keown, and he ends up getting a free kick with Xherdan Shaqiri. Now, I know free kicks are like quite good in this game, he was pretty good at them. That was a really good free kick by him, and he scores a goal with Xherdan Shaqiri. But basically from kickoff, get the ball to D'Alessandro, give it into Hernandez, Hernandez into Montero, Montero waits, and then eventually chips it back, nice little chip ball through to Hernandez. Hernandez takes one touch. He actually defends pretty decently, and unfortunately for him, the ball goes in the wrong direction, and basically I get an opportunity, and I just pop it in the back of the net into an empty net essentially. But in the 58th minute of the match, basically from kickoff, he tries to play forward through ball, doesn't really work. I eventually get the ball with Montero here, run past one player, run past another player. I just keep running with Montero. Montero's one of those like speedy players who's like only rated like 56 or whatever, but he's amazing. So Montero scores. I get like relatively quite fortunate with that, and then it goes up to 64th minute of the match here. Badelj on the ball, plays it into Zapata volley, and if that was any good goalkeeper, he would save it. And it is Gianluigi Buffon, so he should be saving it, but for whatever reason he decides not to save it, and it's the most annoying thing in the world. But in the 70th minute of the match, having brought on Genius pops in the back of the net to make it 4-2 to us, and then in the last minutes of the match, him again on the ball with Zapata, tries to play it into Shaqiri. Shaqiri does get a shot where he does hit off the post, but Keown is there to try and basically do a decent job of defending. Doesn't really do a good job of defending, and that was that. So 4-2 final one against Napoli. Pretty decent result, wasn't really too bad. The dude was a pretty good player as well, so it was a relatively fun game to play as well. The pass completion percentage was above 50%. Basically, if anyone can play against you with above 50% pass completion percentage, I'm happy. So going with that, go up to 420 in the rankings. Don't really care about my rating at all. To be honest, it just doesn't really mean anything to me because it's just a number, and a number means literally nothing. So going again, trying to get into the next match as quickly as possible. We actually end up going out and trying to get a negotiation request using the agents, and this thing is like the most ridiculous thing. I don't know why they implemented it when they could have just probably put in a market. They decided to make it so you have to, like, negotiation requests. It's very unlikely you're going to get the black ball or the gold ball. That actually came to away from getting the gold ball, and I'm getting a goalkeeper Orion. He'll basically be my backup goalkeeper, the Boca Juniors goalie, and I didn't have a backup goalkeeper, so it's a pretty decent. Well, I'm fortunate to get that. But going into the last player which I end up buying in this episode, it is another centre back, or try and get another centre back, because I just basically wanted another good player, either centre back or right back, who we didn't actually have yet. And we end up getting, again, going into the top players, paying 10,000 GP, try and get another ball, get a gold ball unfortunately rather than a black one, and we end up getting the Ivory Coast defender Akpa Akpro. He's a pro, so he must be pretty good. But he is only rated like 76 or whatever, and he's an okay right back. I wouldn't say anything too special. But the most ridiculous thing about this match, which I'm coming up to against this dude, is I faced this dude, okay? I went up against him, and the game disconnected, saying that we couldn't make a good connection with him. And then I try and get to the next game, and the next game is against him again. You'll see in a moment what his name is, because his name is The Kepper. And it was the most ridiculous thing in the world, because his team was like really good, but he was a really good player. I went 1-0 up, and then the game disconnected, and I thought, well, he's not cheating, because it was like literally like the first like 10 minutes of the match. And then went back to play again, and again. His team wasn't actually that good, but he was just a really good player. And he had Sergio Ramos on the bench, which was ridiculous. But I mean, like, for some reason, like, the game just decided to play against him again, even though it had connection issues with him before. So it was just retarded. I don't know why I got paired with him again. Like, it just makes no sense. So basically, playing against this guy who's using Guangzhou Evergrande as his base team, he starts off the game, runs a little bit with a couple players, gives it into Genius, and then basically just tries. Like, he plays a pretty good game, to be honest. And to be honest, I just did not really come up to the occasion, because I didn't really care, because I'm like sort of already in Division 11, so I just didn't really care, to be honest. So in the 37th minute of the match, as you can see in the top right hand corner, the game started lagging quite a lot. Well, it was lagging like the majority of the time in the game, and Montero actually misses an open goal in the first half of the game. It's ridiculously annoying. And then in the 45th minute of the match, he tries to get a through ball, but doesn't get anywhere, and it's 0-0 at half time. So I mean, the game was lagging all over the place. It wasn't particularly a fun game to actually play, but we end up to eventually get to half time. It's like relatively close in terms of stats as well, relatively even. Then in the 47th minute of the match, he gets the ball for Luis Adriano, plays it through ball through to Mikanjo, and Mikanjo pops it past Gianluigi Buffon like he's not even there. Like, he scores a pretty good goal there. Again, plays another through ball through to Luis Adriano. He scores another goal, another through ball, but fair enough. Like, I wasn't really too bored by it, to be honest. And in the 80th minute of the match, again on the ball, plays another through ball for Luis Adriano, gets a strike away. Buffon, for whatever reason, decides just to do whatever the hell he wants, and just lets the ball slip through his fingers when he's on the line. And in the last minutes of the match, Neymar again gets a strike away, and Gianluigi Buffon own goals it. So I get beat 4-0, when in reality 2-0 was probably a much more fair result. But, well, I can't really change that now. So with that being said, I ended up getting beat 4-0. I didn't really deserve it. Deserve to get beat, but who the hell cares? So I moved to finish the current season, move on to the next division, get up to Division 11, and we get up to Division 11. So I've been promoted to Division 11, get the trophy for it, get a contract renewal ticket, and everything as you'd expect. And that would be that. So we get to Division 11, and that's really all that really happens in this episode, to be honest. I mean, beat a guy 4-2, and then we get to Division 11. But We end up going one more time to try and get another good defender back in the back line. We have at least three gold rated players, and then one who's just terrible, 61 rated Keown. So try and get another centre back, hoping to get another centre back, get a gold ball again, thinking okay, this should be pretty decent, and we end up getting a dude called Edson Silva, and he is absolutely terrible. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and catch you later.